What day is it with Seth and Kelly? Hey guys,
Hi,
welcome back to
guys.
What Day Is It with Seth and Kelly.
Welcome
Hey
back.
Kelly.
Hi, Seth. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here again. I
Me
got
too.
Smee.
Smee
Smee is
is
in
in perfect
position.
position. Look at him.
I know. I
He
think
was,
he might stay this week. Maybe he'll
yeah.
stay.
He was prepared today. I feel like sometimes he gets rebellious and he like boycotts. He's like, nah, not doing it, not doing it. But today
Well,
he's like, I think he's
I
in a good
wouldn't
mood.
feed him. Last week he wouldn't do one of my Facebook lives, and then I didn't feed him for a few hours, and I think he learned his lesson that if he wants to get fed, he has to work for his food.
Oh my God, Seth.
It's true. It's true. I already had fed him. I just withheld a little bit of the food for a few
Well,
hours.
he's definitely part of your act, so it makes sense.
I know. Well, I think he's gonna stay today.
Yeah,
We
he
did
looks
the
comfy.
song today. So the song today I put out, and he was really funny in it. He did some weird thing, and then I was like, I guess I have to keep that take. But then I was flat on two notes, and then I tried to fix it in iMovie, and I voiced overed myself, and I think I made it worse because
Oh
then
no.
I was playing with the volume, and I'm like, I don't know that anyone else will notice it but me, but I definitely noticed it. But we'll see if anyone else comments on it. We
I hear
have
you. I'll have to
four
check it out.
viewers so far. How is everyone doing today? We don't have any
Yeah,
comments yet, so
I hope everyone's doing okay. I mean, today, I feel like today we might all be a little low energy because it's so gloomy out, It's
it's
just
just
very,
hot.
it is hot too. It's like hot and like gloomy. It's weird.
I
Like,
guess it is kind of gloomy. I
you
don't know.
know,
It's kind to get a little humid. I'm going to turn my
yeah,
air conditioning on soon, but the problem is I think I need them to come in and give me a new filter, and then I don't know that I want them in my apartment.
that's the thing. It's like with this crazy time right now, it's like it's hard for us to get things done that we need done because we just don't want people coming inside. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna get hot and it's gonna get hot around here. I know that, but I can't believe that we're already up to episode 7. That is insane. I can't believe we did that
7.
many.
We're
That's
going to
so
run out of
crazy.
fingers soon. I'm going to have to use my toes.
Right? It's so insane though, and I'm really excited though for the episodes for today, of course, and then the episodes we have coming up in the future. We even have an episode. I think episode 10 is actually going to be on my birthday, which is
Yes,
crazy.
that's Kelly's birthday episode, so it's
Yeah.
all her friends. We're gonna segue actually starting next week. It's not all my friends anymore.
Yes,
What?
I'm starting to bring in people, which I'm
Yes,
really excited about. I'm like, I don't think Seth should be doing all the work here. I should be reaching out to people too. Well,
I'm
honestly, Seth,
excited to
you have,
meet some of Kelly's friends.
yeah, and you just have, a lot of people. I feel like you have a little bit more like connections to go to than I do. I mean, I feel like a lot of your friends are theater friends of yours, right? As you've mentioned. I've only lived in New York for like 2 years, so I'm still like finding my friends and figuring things out. But
Yeah, I
I'm
think
really
most of my
excited.
friends are they're mostly hammy too. It's like, do you want to come on a talk show and talk for 12 minutes? And they're all like, yes, I would love to come on a talk show and talk for 12 minutes because we all miss actually performing live and stuff. So it's like
Yeah.
whatever we can get, we will take it. And we have 5 people watching, so it's time for me to play the theme song one more time since everyone missed it. What day is it with Seth and Kelly?
Sneeze little meow. I'm really digging what I did with the thumbnail today. Do you like it? I like the color scheme of like the
Yeah, I love the
purple.
thumbnail. I put all the thumbnails on the website. I
Oh,
don't
I
know if
noticed
people
that.
I don't know if people have been to our website, but it's just sethbh.com/talk show. Is that still
Yeah.
sharing? Does that come up?
I see my YouTube channel.
Nope, that's not what I
That's
meant to
not
do.
what we were talking
That's not
about.
what I meant to do. I meant to put it in here. How about that? Did that work?
Um, well, at the bottom of the screen, I see my YouTube channel information.
Oh, I didn't actually share it. That was the
There
problem.
it is.
There's our website. What
Mm-hmm.
day is it? And then here's all the guests coming up, although we haven't put out the guests for the next few weeks yet, but soon. Yeah, here's the one
Oh,
for
look at
today.
all the
Yeah, they're all. It's like if you're gonna do all that work of making them, I feel like they should be archived somewhere. And I'm
I love it.
a very big archivist. Although this has too much space, I need to fix that. This
But
has
this is
less
cool
space
because
than this.
we could see everyone we've been able to chat with, which is so crazy.
Yes.
We've talked to so many people so far. Isn't that insane? I can't
I
believe
love
it.
that you change the color every week. I don't know that I noticed it until this moment.
Yeah, I try to be a little colorful and fun with it. But purple and pink are like my favorite colors.
Oh, no, I didn't mean to play that again. Sorry. Back to just us. Back to just us.
Yeah, so today we're talking to some writers and guests that have been working on writing projects during quarantine. So that's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of them. So it's exciting that that I'm not the only person who has used this opportunity of being stuck in my apartment to write as much as possible. But it's exciting that the song cycle is almost done. They're going to start letting us out of our apartment soon. So next week is the final song cycle song, which means by the time we get to 2 weeks from now, I no longer have to film a whole song, edit it, put it up, promote it before I do the talk show. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It'll be a much easier life. And my Facebook Live show went down to 1 a week, as you know.
Yeah.
So it's like all of a sudden yesterday, I had time to just kind of sit and chill. And I was like, this is kind of nice. So it's my new summer schedule. But my podcast comes back out starting next week.
I'm excited to listen to your podcast.
Yes.
I honestly definitely am going to check it out. Obviously, we had our episode, so I'm excited to listen to that.
Yeah, I think your episode is number 6. It'll come out the second Wednesday in July.
Okay,
cool. I'm very much into recording things in advance. So I am recording 3 this week, 2 next week, and then the season's done. But literally the ones I'm doing next week aren't airing till the end of August. So I try not to say like anything to predict. I think in one episode, I predicted it would be hotter by the time it aired.
Oh, wow.
That was me, looking in my crystal ball. I said, when this airs in June, it will be hotter. Oh, look, we have a comment. You guys,
yay.
It's Summer.
Oh, Summer. Hi, Summer. Thanks for tuning in.
Summer was our guest in our very first episode.
Yeah, very first one. I can't believe how long ago that was.
I know. It's just like, that would have been 6 weeks already.
Yeah. We miss you, Summer. Sending love to you.
Yay.
And so I really wish I could see you in person, Seth, and you, Summer, and just see my friends again. It's so draining that this is still happening.
Well, I'll tell you, I started seeing people in person. One of my friends is sadly leaving the city at the end of the month, and she lives 10 blocks from me. So we did it. We put on masks, and we stayed 6 feet apart, just like my song, 6 feet apart. And we just walked around, and it was very crowded out. But, I feel like if everyone else is doing it, as long as you're wearing your mask, as long as you're staying away from people. But I'm only really seeing people who live in Hell's Kitchen because no one wants the subway.
I'm noticing a lot more people out and about. Honestly, like even people are like, they're even like opening up bars and stuff, which I think is kind of crazy. I mean, I'm seeing people like having drinks together. Like it's insane having coffee together. I don't know. I mean, I think that's a good thing. I mean, but it's definitely going to change the way that we're used to socializing with others.
It's going to be a weird it's like a weird transition. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. When this is all over, it's like, we're still going to have the masks on. We're still going to have to be so careful every time we leave. And I feel like it's not, nothing's going to go back to normal, which is why this is such a crazy time.
We still have another few months of this, probably the rest of the year. And but they're saying that for herd immunity, we need to get to like 60 or 70%. And right now we're at 20%. So I think a lot more people are going to get it, but they seem to have more hospital capacity now, and they're going to start all this tracking and testing. That it's going to be a huge undertaking, and hopefully eventually we'll have cabaret again. I'm hoping even if it's at 50% capacity, at least we can go out and see people and perform for people instead of getting applaud emojis. It's like at the end of everyone's set on my showcases, we get all these applaud emojis, and then I put them on the screen, and I'm like, they're applauding, and you have to just imagine that you're hearing the applaud and laughter in your head.
I know. It's so, see, I'm in a different position than you are, Seth, because like I'm used to doing everything virtually, like with my YouTube videos and stuff, and I'm on TikTok now, which we talked about on your podcast.
Yes.
I'm used to doing everything behind a screen. I'm used to talking to a screen and having my art be through a screen. So to be honest with you, not much has changed for me throughout this whole thing. So it's interesting seeing other artists getting more used to having to channel their art into a different platform that they're not used to using. Because you're used to doing everything live, right? Like having your cabaret.
Yeah, I think all three of our guests today are more into live things. But when we start having your friends, then they might be more into TikTok. So then I'll be really, really old. And I'll be like, in my day, we had a VCR and a rotary phone.
Listen, Seth, I have a TikTok, but I don't know. I'm not totally like up with all the hip stuff the kids do these days either.
That's
so
true.
that's
Where's
like
your mom today? Is your mom not watching?
No.
I just realized we haven't had any comments from your mom.
No, is she not tuning in? I should send her a text and see what's going on.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because this is the first week we haven't had comments from her the whole time.
So bizarre.
All we have is this nice comment from Summer. I'll just put it up again. Guys, if you're watching, you should comment because that's the whole point of doing a talk show that's interactive. But we're going to keep going. I think it is time for our first guest. So our first guest today is a singer-songwriter who began her career as a performer at the age of 8, landing the role of Cosette in Les Miserables. She continued on to do 6 more Broadway shows and various roles on the stage and screen.
In between acting gigs, she would sneak in some studio time and hone her craft as a songwriter. As a teenager, she had 5 of her original pop songs licensed to Nickelodeon. Today, she spends most of her time flying back and forth from New York City to Nashville, since recently signing with Reviver Music.
She has received critical acclaim for her clarion voice, that's a quote, by the Associated Press, and music intended to stand and last. Her powerhouse vocal style has opened doors to support artists such as the Gin Blossoms, share the New York stage with Cyndi Lauper, and sing the national anthem for her hometown Knicks. I think that's basketball.
Yes. When not working on music, she spends most of her time with her bunny, Sherlock. Sherlock is a floppy-eared little trained rabbit who also plays guitar. What?
I heard she posts a lot of rabbit photos on Instagram. Finally, she has been spending this quarantine time writing for her upcoming album and brushing up her home studio skills until she can get back to Nashville. Please welcome Brooke Marber. Hey, Brooke, how's it going?
Hi, Brooke. Thank you guys for having me.
Well, thanks for being here.
Wow, so you've done a lot of stuff.
Oh, we could do that if you want more room.
Yeah, what do you think is... see, we do this every week, Seth. We're like, which is better? Which is better? Is like more out better or close?
Brooke's mom is watching, so that's exciting.
Yes, I made her go in the other room because I can like hear like the double.
Yeah, there's like a 5-second delay from what we're doing and when it airs, and sometimes the comments roll in a minute late, and I'm like, oh no, we've already passed that.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, I don't think Kelly's mom is watching. She usually has commented by now.
It's kind of making me a little nervous. I hope she's okay.
Maybe she took a nap and then forgot to wake up.
I don't know. I hope she's okay. She usually tunes in every week.
Yeah, my father watches every week, but he watches it an hour late because he watches, I forget what show it is on MSNBC at 4 every Thursday. So he's like, no, I already have a show at 4, and he watches us at like 5 or 6.
Yeah, well, it's cool. Your dad always gives great feedback. But thanks for meeting with us, Brooke. So tell us a little bit about, it looks like you've been quite the musical theater performer and singer. Like, that's so exciting. I love Les Mis. I was in Les Mis too.
The other life before doing the whole songwriter thing.
Yeah. So you started off doing theater and then transitioned into writing your own stuff?
I did. I basically had an audition for Les Miserables when I was a kid, and I got it, which it should only always be that easy, but so I was like, oh, this is great. I want to do this. And I got addicted to theater, and I still love it, even though I'm not really doing it right now. I think I do want to come back to it at some point, but can't do the singer-songwriter thing at the same time. It's just too much with the 8 shows.
Well, theater is a lot. 8 shows a week is like, I can't imagine doing 4 shows a week, let alone 8.
And then when you're not doing the shows, you're either in physical therapy during the day or rehearsing for your next gig. So there's no time to be creative with anything else.
podcast. Your mom is saying she's having a delay. That's because she can hear you in real life
Oh,
from the other room. But
Mom,
there's
go in the other room. Lock the door. Don't listen to me.
yeah, there's definitely a delay.
We actually just did a mass exodus from New York City last night. I'm at my in-laws' house in Long Island, and my husband and I had been in our 600 square foot studio apartment for the past 3 months and had not walked out the door, getting our fresh direct deliveries and all that stuff. And so now we have like all of this room, but we're also with my in-laws and my mom, and it's, you know, everyone just trying to be on each other's schedules. So
gosh, that's an adventure right there.
Yeah, it's like culture shock. When I walked out the door yesterday, I'm like, oh, some people are wearing masks, some people are not. Some people think it's a necklace, some people think it's an earring. You know, so I need to get out of here.
Oh my God, it's so true. It's such a crazy world we live in now.
We're losing the cat. I'm sorry, he's gone. I think he's gonna go into his box. He's like, I've had enough of this broadcast. But he can't hear it because I have the headphone on.
Wait, he did stay for the first 20 minutes. That's pretty impressive.
By the way, we have Kelly's mom again.
Oh, she's here. Maybe she forgot.
She says she's only was 15 minutes late, but she says hi. And then Brooke's mom says, okay, she'll move into the other room. So,
Mom, I'm glad you're okay. I was like low-key worried about you.
I know, we're so used to her comments all the show. I was like, wow, it's so quiet without Kelly's mom.
So Brooke, tell us a little bit about how you started writing your own music and what inspired you to do that and what kind of music you write, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I mean, I always kind of just played around on the piano when I was a kid and came up with like little tunes and stuff. And honestly, when I was, you know, between like the age of like 12 to 15, my parents were going through a bad divorce and it was kind of an outlet for me. So there's nothing more therapeutic than songwriting. I just think it's, I feel very lucky to have that outlet. So, you know, to be able to make a career of it was something I was always trying to aspire to. And, you know, to be able to do that and then also do the theater thing was really, really cool, but also very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, it's music, but it's two completely different worlds.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I do it in a completely different way when I'm doing theater than I do when I'm doing the pop country thing.
Yeah. Did you feel, and you felt kind of more ultimately drawn passionately towards doing the pop country thing, writing your own music, pretty much?
You know, I felt like it always, whenever I kind of just tuned into my own voice, it was very kind of, I've always listened to people like, you know, like Linda Ronstadt is my idol. So my voice tends to go towards a little bit of country, but not too much because I'm a New Yorker. So I never wanted to, you know, go too far twangy. But she's always been my biggest influence as far as a singer. And songwriting, it's kind of like whatever. If it's a good song, it's a good song. And you give it to a producer, they can make it country or they can make it, you know, I mean, there are certain ways of writing country versus other methods. It's very different, but
oh yeah, I'm sure.
But the producer has a lot of influence on sonically what it's going to sound like.
Oh, I have an update. Brooke's mom is now in the bedroom, and then Kelly's mom was so sorry, and she says that Kel, you did the same thing when you were young, but I'm not sure. Like, something about singing and songwriting, maybe.
Yeah, well, I kind of know what she's talking about because I was going to tell Brooke that I relate to you a lot with your story because I used to play around on the piano too when I was younger and just make up stuff. And I also have a theater background. And now instead of pursuing that, I became a YouTuber and social media personality. So it's like, it's interesting how like your life just takes you on different paths, you know?
Yeah.
But theater's always going to be close to my heart. And I'm sure you feel the same way because it's
absolutely, it's so much a part of me that, you know, and I still think, you know, I still want to do it. You know, it's not that I just had to take a little break to focus on this, but I want to be able to do both one day.
Yeah. And I'm sure
why not?
I mean, theater lives on forever, right, guys?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully theater will be back.
Yeah. But very
I
cool.
certainly miss
Kelly,
it.
do you still play around on the piano and write stuff?
I honestly do have a few original kind of like indie pop songs that I've written that I have just sitting like in my archives. And I kind of like always look at them and I'm like, I should record them. And I never do. And it's kind of like something I always kind of dream of someday being brave enough to do. So I honestly think someday maybe I should try doing that. I just have a million things. Like, I have like too many passions. I have too many things I do. It's hard for me to pick one thing. I just like, but I definitely do have some songs that I think I would love to show them to the public someday. So if I can make that happen eventually,
or you can just like go on GarageBand and just put it down.
Yeah, is that what you use, GarageBand? I've tried that.
Well, I've been teaching myself Pro Tools, but because I've been doing so. Because of the delay, I recently signed with a label on Music Row in Nashville called Moriber, and we were just about to have me come out and demo some songs so we could choose which ones we're going to use for the album. And now I'm doing the demos on my own at home, which has been a massive, like, I've pulled so much hair out and I've screamed at the camera so many times, but I'm starting to feel like I'm developing that skill a little bit, but yeah, so I started using Pro Tools and it just kept my computer kept crashing. It couldn't handle it, so I'm just doing everything in GarageBand now.
Oh no, your poor computer.
It can't handle it. Yeah.
Oh, I prefer GarageBand. I use GarageBand and iMovie all the time.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I need the fancier ones for the things I put out.
You don't? No, you really don't. GarageBand is great. It's got like everything.
Yeah, I'm not a perfectionist. Like, I put out a video today where I was pitchy on 2 notes and then I tried to fix it and made it worse. But, you know, whatever. I'm like, people understand. I'm home alone. I'm writing songs. They don't have to be perfect right now.
No,
you know?
but the imperfection is the charm of it.
That's what makes me very charming, is my imperfections. Yeah. I'm sure my girlfriend would agree.
That's what makes us all charming, you know? If we were all perfect, life would be boring. You guys are
Brooke's mom says you do sound like Linda.
Aww.
Yes.
Thank you, Mom.
You guys are inspired. So how has your writing changed during quarantine? Have you been inspired to write anything new during this time, or?
Definitely. I've actually been writing probably more than usual. I've been doing a lot of co-writes as well that my label's been setting up for Zoom co-writes, which I thought was going to really suck. But I actually kind of enjoy it. Like, I'm in my own home, I have the comfort of it. But yeah, I've been writing a lot of kind of just, you know, songs that I'm hoping can be heard post-COVID, that, you know, when I can actually get in the studio and record them for real. It's stuff that people want to hear. So kind of just like what life is going to be like afterwards and stuff.
I think we can do studio stuff again and relatively soon. Is that your husband that just walked in back of you?
That was my husband. Yeah.
Hi. I feel like you can get into a studio again because it's not that many people. So I think
it's but more the bigger issue is actually getting back to Nashville.
Oh yeah.
You know, flying versus, you know, we could drive. It's a long drive. But I wrote a song that was about what's going on. I wrote a song called In It Together, and I put like a whole video up for it and everything. And
I shared it and liked it.
You did, and it was a massive headache. But if you notice, I've actually taken it offline because I have an artist that my label submitted it to that wants to record it. And and I'm hoping that this person get in the studio soon. I can't mention names yet, but I'm very, very excited that somebody like who's got like a really big name has my song on hold and wants to perform it. And that just
well, congratulations.
That's exciting.
Just even the fact that it's on hold, you know, just to like, I'm like, I can't believe somebody wanted to sing my song enough to do that. So it just
that's amazing.
Yeah,
well, congrats on that. I think it is time for us to bring on our next guest, but we'll have you back at the end for our roundtable discussion.
Thanks, Brooke. Thanks so much.
All right. Before we bring on the next guest, I want to say that Kelly's mom says I am charming, and so does Brooke's mom.
Aww.
So
you are charming, Seth.
I do really well with moms.
You do.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I blow my nose.
No worries. All right. So you have the first one for our next guest.
Yes. Let me pull this up. So our next guest today is a writer, performer, and filmmaker from the border of South Texas, where 45 wants to build his idiotic wall. He has way too much to say about almost everything, which is why he writes plays, films, musicals, poetry, sketch, and does stand-up comedy. He's an alumni of the Second City Training Center, Chicago, a proud member of Musical Theater Factory, and founding artistic director of Lone Star Theater Company, and the son of a preacher man.
He dedicates his life telling stories of Latinx, I don't know how to say it that way, Latino and Latina and Latinx, and gay people living in the United States, and his theater works include Manuel versus the Statue of Liberty, a musical comedy, Promesa, mariachi musical, Animal Husbandry, oh, I saw that one, Aztec Pirates, and The Insignificance of Life on Mars, Vox Pop, a musical parable, Pyramid, a musical adventure, hashtag 52 songs, a song cycle, Tales from Highway 281, Adán y Julio y la Frontera, 2003, Men of God, Abuelas, or The Poverty Cycle, Credo, But Babies Never Lie, a poetry cycle, and, if that was not enough, many short plays and films.
Finally, he is an avid X fan, pophead, and recovering action figure collector. Please welcome
David Davila. Hey, David, how's it going?
Hey, oh my God, you guys. Talk show. Oh my God.
Yes, thank you so much for talking with us.
It's exactly like Conan O'Brien, except we're Seth and Kelly instead. But it's the same concept.
Oh, cute.
Honestly, like,
I don't know her.
Oh, well, thank you for talking with us. It sounds like you are like just as creative as Seth. Like, my goodness, I thought Seth did like way too many things. You do so many projects.
Yeah, very true. I do a lot of things, and Seth knows because I'm always inviting Seth to things too.
Yeah, I think David and I do a comparable amount of things.
Yeah, that's
Those
awesome.
are the people I'm drawn to. It's the people who are like me. I like me, and I like people like me.
That makes sense. So, how did you guys meet each other and get connected?
Oh, we met in choir, Essential Voices choir.
Yes, that is so true. We met in Essential Voices.
Yeah, he came up to me and he was like, I know who you are. Your work is brilliant. I love your work. And I was like, I want to be your friend because I love friends who love my work.
And history is written by whoever gets to write it, I guess.
You don't remember that? You totally were like, I love your work. And then I was like, oh, good, I'll be friends with this guy. And it was exciting to have a new friend. Usually I have to convince people to like my work, and I didn't have to because you already knew of it.
Cute.
That's awesome.
Are you saying it's not true?
That works. That totally works.
You guys were in choir together? That's cool. So tell us a little bit about your history with writing, David. How did you get started, and what inspires you?
Oh gosh, that's a boring story. I don't know. I don't know. I always wrote since I was a kid. I had really good teachers, and I was dyslexic. And my mother is a really good teacher, and while my brothers would play outside in the summer, she would like sit me down and make me read, and I hated it so much. And I don't know, somewhere along the way, I just started writing, I guess. This is not a fun story. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
We're not a fun talk show. We don't have to be fun all the time here.
Really serious, guys.
I didn't even know you were dyslexic, so I learned something today.
Well, we all learn something new every day.
I hope so.
That's so you just were naturally drawn to it. I mean, I think that's how we find our artistic passions anyway, right? Like, we just find ways to cope with things through art. And I think it just comes to us naturally. So that's really cool that you've been doing that since you were a kid. That's kind of what I've been doing with how I've been with like, I used to like have my mom videotape me and my friends doing plays all the time. Like, that was naturally what I would do growing up,
That is what my niece, I'm so proud of my niece because she has the same birthday as I do.
Oh.
She is 7 years old, and she's so cute, and she's so talented, and she sings and all that stuff. But she saw for the first time the High School Musicals trilogy.
Oh.
And now she's obsessed. I had to buy her, I hope she's not watching this, I had to buy her all this High School Musical stuff for her birthday, which is coming up. And yeah, because I guess my birthday's coming up too. Gemini's, holler. And I was so proud though. Literally.
That's exciting. I love the show High School Musical, the series. You watch that show?
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I did. It's interesting. It's interesting.
It's such a guilty pleasure, but I
It's a little bit
stayed at my friend who had Disney Plus because I don't have it, nor do I want it. But I watched that whole thing in like one sitting.
Watching all their shows, sure. This is brought to you by Disney Plus right here.
Brought to you by Disney Plus.
But I did a story. My niece, she's writing High School Musical Part 4.
Oh wow!
Songs. It's so silly, and it's so like she's 7 years old, and she's writing out the scripts like in pencil. It's so cute. So I bought her a clapper, like a Hollywood clapper.
Oh.
So I bought her like a puppet show. So I bought her some dolls, and she's gonna like film it with her puppets and the clapper.
That's awesome.
Kelly's mom says she must love her Uncle David. Love in all caps with 4 exclamation points.
She does. It's true. But who doesn't? Am I right, guys?
Yeah, no, of course. Everybody
Hey,
likes
you
David
sound like the
Davila.
best uncle getting her all that stuff. I would be like over the moon. But that's so
definitely.
cool.
Well, I think that, there's a lot to be said if you have the same birthday or the same sign, because my cousin's daughter is 8 and her birthday's the day before me. And she is like, has a lot in common with me because we're both Pisces, I guess, and we're born within a day. But since she was born before me by a day, I told her she was older than me. I was like, you're older than me because your birthday's the day before me. And she looked at me and she was like, no. No, I'm not.
Yeah, she can't.
She's very smart.
Stuff.
Well, wait, did you say you're a Gemini, David?
Yes.
Me too. Yes. Geminis. I get excited when I meet other Geminis. So tell
My
us.
girlfriend is a Gemini and my sister.
Oh, you did mention that, Seth.
Mm-hmm.
I come from a whole family of Geminis. My dad, my sister, and I are all Geminis. It's kind of insane. So what is something that you've written, a play or a film, or what is one of your works that you're most proud of? What do you say?
Oh my gosh, these are super serious questions. It's a serious talk show, isn't it? We talk about serious things here. Yeah, something I'm proud of. I mean, a lot of stuff that I've written. I currently, during pandemic, I wrote a bunch of stuff. I finished part 2 of a play that is a Latinx Fantasia on national themes.
Ooh.
Yeah,
is that how you say that? Latinx?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say Latinx or whatever. I don't know.
Latinx.
No, I say Latinx, but
Latinx. Got it.
Yeah.
And Kelly's mom is also a Gemini.
It's supposed to be this all-encompassing term, but a lot of people are rejecting it anyway. Like, they don't want to be all-encompassing. So, whatever.
They shouldn't make it harder to say. Like, come up with a term that's easy to say.
Or whatever, and include everybody. I don't know. You know, this is a very new thing that we're all becoming aware of.
Brooke is a Gemini too. I misread who had said it. Brooke is a Gemini too. Holla.
No way! That's a crazy Gemini guy.
We have a lot of Geminis today. And then Kelly's mom says, "That's adorable, David." All caps, adorable.
My mom is our biggest fan. But very cool. I mean, I don't feel like this is like too serious of a talk show. We just like for people to talk about their art on here because it's a good opportunity to like share what you've done.
This play, I just finished part 2, but I wrote part 1. I started part 1 at least like 2 years ago, and last summer it's called Aztec Pirates, a Latinx Fantasia on national themes, and part 1, which is called titled "The Insignificance of Life on Mars." I got to kind of like tour it around the country. I got a bunch of different readings across the country last summer. Super cool because I got to see how different audiences reacted to it. And I just had the best time with it. But everyone kept telling me that they thought there was more to the story. It's about an ICE agent, by the way. It's about a Latino ICE agent who feels guilty about deporting, brown people.
Oh, yeah. I think you were telling me about this when I ran into you at the Signature Theater.
Probably
a couple of years ago.
So I just finished part 2 during the pandemic, and we did a reading of it with the Latinx Playwrights Circle.
Did you use Zoom for that?
We did. We used Zoom. That's all we can do right now. So and I'll be having an upcoming reading with the Brooklyn Cultural Arts Center soon too, though that is sort of unclear when that's going to be because of the pandemic. It might end up being Zoom also.
Yeah, it's how we live now. That's really awesome, though. Good for you. Congrats on that. I wrote one play one time when I was in college, and it was just like a student, like the students put it on. It was a student-run production, but it was still so cool to like write something personal. I wrote it about discovering my sexuality, and it was just like so cool to actually have a show put on that was so personal to me and have people actually, you know, come up to me and tell me it helped them. So I think that's really cool that you're writing about important topics like that as well. So that's great. Congrats to you. That's awesome.
Yes, Kelly's mom says, "Nice, David."
My mom is just constantly commenting.
All right, well, thanks, David. I think it is time for us to move on to our final guest, but we will see you again in about 12 minutes for our roundtable discussion.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you,
This
David.
episode is flying by. I love our guest this week.
It is kind of flying by. I don't know why it's going by so fast.
I don't know. I think they're just such interesting people that I brought
Yeah,
on.
I feel like we have lots of It's because of all the Geminis, Seth. It's
Yes.
because of all the Geminis. I'm telling
That's
you.
true. All right. Our final guest today is a native New Yorker who does the typical artist quarantine thing and records videos of herself singing and playing instruments, then uploads them to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Speaking of Facebook, Seth peer pressured her into joining Facebook in 2008 after her first showcase with him. She had been hesitant to join it first and thought she was happy with MySpace.
It's true. She has written episodes of her web series, These Three Girls, still in post-production. She writes songs when she's inspired or sad, like any good tortured artist. And she's currently developing a screenplay based on a project that she has been involved with that's so bad, it's hilarious. Because you need to write what you know, and sometimes reality is way crazier than fiction.
She daydreams about running races again in hopes that the New York City Marathon doesn't get canceled this year, but it might. She also wishes that she had a puppy. Me too. But she needs to clean her apartment first. Even though there's all this free time now, she also feels like there's no time at all. Please welcome
Teresa Wee. Hey, Teresa, how's it going?
All right, how are you guys? Oh, well, let me make sure the camera looks good. Hey, y'all. Yeah, I need to clean my apartment. So where I normally would be doing something like this, I couldn't get it to work because I didn't have enough service. So that's why the screen is here. So, hey, y'all.
Oh, we like this
Thanks
screen.
for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's cute when you're like seeing celebrities and they're at home and they have clutter too. And then you're like, they're cluttered just like me.
Yay, they're real. So
I am so cluttered. I've been living on piles on top of piles, so it's okay. Thanks for talking with us though today. And it sounds like again we have you've been working on a lot of writing projects, which is really cool.
Well, that's the topic today, so that's why I had my
we're
writer
all
friends.
over the place today. Like I feel like we keep losing the topic, and we're like, oh wait, what? But how did you and Seth meet? Was it through the peer pressuring over Facebook?
Actually, I met him through, I forgot, what was it, playbill.com that I found you? I don't remember.
For the showcase?
For the showcase. I found you 12 years ago now.
Yeah,
and I was like,
old.
oh yeah, I did this thing. I was at Lincoln Center. I was in Candide with Kristen Chenoweth and Patti LuPone. And Lonnie Price was the director, and I was in the opera chorus. And he was like, "Oh yeah, you don't have to audition; just do my show." So I actually got to bypass the audition for the showcase, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true. Because I was like, if you worked with Kristen and Lonnie and Patti, I was like, even if you're in the chorus, you're good enough for my show.
I was like, okay, cool. So then that's how that started. But before this, I actually I studied opera, did a lot of theater, but ultimately TV and film paid me more. So I was auditioning for a lot of big TV shows, and I was kind of hoping that this year was going to be the year that I would book a series regular or a guest star role.
Well, you're a series regular on my show, but
that's right.
We also are on pause too, but you can see Teresa in the sitcom pilot of Everyday a Little Seth.
Oh,
and I'll put my website in case any of our people watching have not seen it. It's a very funny sitcom pilot about my life, and Teresa is one of the co-stars. And we do plan to have her back in other episodes, assuming we can ever, pitch to networks again.
Yeah, but it was because of Seth giving me like the footage. So as me as a reporter, I was able to book my first Netflix show, 7 Seconds. That was like one of my first co-star.
Oh yeah, you were a reporter on that.
Wow.
Yep. And the thing that sucks about like television is that they can always cut you, but like they left my voice in, and I look like a background actor, even though I had like my own dressing room and my own bathroom and everything. It looks like I'm a background actor when you watch it. But thanks to Seth, I got to do a lot of stuff and footage for stuff. So I was able to get some more TV shows and but I usually play the same characters: nurses, reporters, teachers. I was actually on Difficult People on Hulu, and that one I got to work with Billy Eichner and Julie Klausner, and I played a nurse in that one. So it's like cool to like get to do other things. Not to say that it's not fun being a reporter, but it's nice to do other things too.
Yeah, it's like you're very stereotyped in the typical roles.
In this, yeah, exactly. But
by the way, Kelly's mom says hi, Teresa, and she's gonna have to see the sitcom pilot, which she's gonna love. She's gonna love it.
Hi, Kelly's mom.
I need to check that out too. That's so cool. So you're definitely an accomplished actress. How do you feel about how has quarantine kind of changed your whole opinion of acting and writing? And do you feel that it's changed your creative process at all?
Oof. Well, I mean, I've been watching a lot more TV, so I've just been trying to get inspired. I know that like in terms of like live theater, it's probably not going to happen for a while, but I've been in rehearsals for for a play and some other things. So it's actually inspired. I write what I know. That's like anytime I've like done like any kind of web series, whatever, I always write about anything that's annoying to me. So I'm currently in the midst of writing a screenplay about a really awful play that it's so hilariously bad you cannot make it up. Like just everything about it's so unprofessional, just so much drama, and it's like, oh, it's so juicy, and it's like you want to do those things just to like stick around just to see where we'll go next, because reality is more, I think that's more funny than anything that anyone can actually make up.
Definitely.
Yeah, no, I always write what I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like you, Kelly, like I try to like make YouTube videos just because like now I want to sing, and I love singing. And I've been really lucky that I've gotten asked to sing the national anthem, even while in quarantine for a boxing event. And I usually sing, the last 4 years, I actually sang the national anthem at the start of New York City Marathon.
Wow.
And so it's like.
Brooke sings the national anthem a lot too.
Yeah, the Knicks. I sang for the Westchester Knicks, so the minor league version or whatever, and I did the minor league version of the Mets, which is the Brooklyn Cyclones.
I can't stand that song. That's like the worst song ever, and it's not fun to sing. Like, I think we should have a better anthem, but
the national anthem. I sang it once for an event for my dad's. My dad's in a bagpiping band. I know that's
so cool. Oh my god, that's so freaking cool!
Very
wow,
random.
You got really excited about that.
No, that's really exciting.
I sang it at my high school's football game once, and I stayed for the game, and I got so bored I left after like a quarter.
So you like literally like sang and then you're like, okay, bye. Well, I mean, sometimes like it depends. Like I'll
Lindsay Green says that's amazing, but I don't know what she was referring to.
Oh,
so
okay.
Let's assume it's the bagpipe thing.
It's probably the bagpipe thing. Yeah,
she likes the Canadian anthem. Yeah, no, I agree. The Canadian anthem is much better than the American anthem.
Yeah, the Canadian anthem, there was one of the Westchester Knicks games. I actually had to sing the Canadian anthem and the American anthem because it was a Canadian team that the Westchester Knicks were up against, so I had to learn that. But did you know that they changed the lyrics to make it more, I guess, PC? Like,
no.
I forgot what the word, and it was like something about, there was like a male thing in there, and then now it's all of us command. Or something like that.
I did read about that.
Instead of sons, it's like all of us. So I actually sang the newer version of it, which I was like,
the Star Trek. They used to say where no man has gone before, and now they say where no one has gone before. But Carol says that he's really great too. Is that your aunt, Carol? This is some other Carol.
That's my grandma.
Oh, your grandma.
Yes, my family's always here. Yeah.
I knew it was someone who must have known about the bagpiping being great.
Oh yeah, it's very interesting. My dad, he just randomly, when he was younger, wanted to learn how to play the bagpipes, and he taught himself. And then he became a teacher, and then he became part of a bagpiping troupe. And once a year, they do this huge banquet hall thing, and I sang the national anthem once for them. So it was cool. It was really cool. I also have an opera background too, Teresa. So that's so that's kind of where you started with singing. Like you started with classical.
I sang whatever. And funny story, I don't know how much time I have. I'll try to make it quick. When I was a kid, I'd been singing since I was like 1. I used to get up on tables and just put on shows like in restaurants because that's just what I did as a 1-year-old. Obviously, that's what people do. And then I just started writing when I was like a little kid, just like writing like little random things on the piano because that's just what you do as a little kid.
That's what I do now.
And so when I was in elementary school, I wanted so badly to be in the Glee Club, so badly. I used to fantasize about it. I also fantasized about being a rock star as well, too. That's another thing. So then I got a call back for the Glee Club. Then I got sick and had no voice, so I couldn't do a whole octave. Didn't get in, but I still wanted to be in it so badly. This is so sad. I would take bathroom breaks when I knew Glee Club was rehearsing, and I would walk by the room just to listen to them, wishing I was in the Glee Club. And so then I went to, when I was in junior high school, I was like the star instrumentalist or something like that. I played guitar and bass, and everyone's like, oh, like I won the award for that, but I still wanted to sing. I went to high school, saw the like the previews for like Bye Bye Birdie that my school was doing, and I was like, oh my God, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. So then I didn't get into chorus line because I can't dance to save my life. However, the next time I auditioned, one of the casting directors was like, oh my God, you have a really pretty voice. And then I got cast, and that was how it started. And then after that, I studied classically. I was in All Eastern Honors Chorus with Anne Hathaway at Carnegie Hall, and Nikki M. James, who won the Tony Award for Book of Mormon as well. And her name is actually listed right under mine. But that was back in 1999? Long time ago. So I don't know. Most of these people watching us were probably not alive yet.
No, I think our demographic is all moms.
Oh, okay, good. So everybody.
Most people who watch are much older than we are. That's what I think.
Okay, good. So that's how I started. I went to Westminster Choir College, studied opera.
Oh my God. I auditioned for Westminster Choir College. Yes.
Where did you go to school? Where did you end up going?
I was thinking of going there for opera because I realized I wanted to study opera, but I actually ended up going to Mason Groves for 2 years at Rutgers.
Oh, wow. Oh, cool. So you were like, you weren't too far away. You were just like near, was it New Jersey Transit stop away on the Northeast Corridor line?
My parents both went to Rutgers.
Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
I studied opera for 2 years. I loved it, but honestly, it just wasn't ultimately the path I wanted to take. It's such a dedication to dedicate your life into that art. It's so complicated. It has to be your whole life, And I was similar to you. I kind of wanted to do more of the TV and film thing, so I changed my major and graduated with like a theater BA. But it's definitely it'll always be a part of me. So that's really cool. We've had a lot of people on here who have studied opera in the past, actually.
But
I like opera a lot, so I think most of my friends do too.
Yeah.
Well, like in terms of like, you do need to dedicate your life to it, and that's why like it wasn't really for me. I mean, I graduated like Bachelor of Music and Voice Performance, whatever. But ultimately I was like, I don't know if I love singing opera. Every once in a while I'll sing it, but I'm just not going to devote my life. Like I knew people in school who literally did not want to have a social life because they needed to practice. That's
how I felt.
No relationships, barely any friendships. They were in the practice room like all day, just like singing. They needed to be perfect. And some people from Westminster ended up going to the Met, performing all over the world. And so like I went to school with some people who they devoted their lives to it, and that's great. But ultimately I wanted to do other things. So like we have a lot in common, Kelly. So yeah.
All right. Well, we are like almost at a round table, but I wanted to read some comments. Wilson says, I have a world's greatest mom mug. Does that count? And Lindsay wants to make it clear that she is not a mom, frowny face. She's actually younger than we are, but she also studied classical voice. And then Kelly's mom really likes the mom demographic.
We do have we make a joke. We do have a lot of moms that always tune into our talk show.
And David is currently in Princeton, but actually we're going to bring him back right now. So we are now at a round table. So I'm going to bring David and Brooke back. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
This has been such a fun episode. I feel like I've barely talked at all.
Yeah.
Oh, did I? From my perspective, I feel like you guys are doing most of the heavy lifting today.
That's a good thing. This is such a good high energy episode. Sometimes I feel like we sometimes have like some awkward moments because I don't know. It's been a good energy.
Yeah,
today.
We don't have any awkward moments at all today until now.
I said that? Okay, sorry. I just heard it.
No, it's totally fine. All right, so let us do our 3 roundtable questions. I believe Kelly has the first one.
Okay, so the first question is, what's a crazy dream you have? So, like a dream for your life. What is a dream you would have that you want to achieve? Again, like a serious question. David's like, it's serious. I don't know. I know that's so.
The other 2 are not serious. Don't worry.
Yeah, they're silly. We could even say like a crazy dream you've had recently. That could be a good one.
Can I start or?
Yeah, start. Why not?
My current dream right now is to work it as a TV writer in a TV writing room.
Oh,
so, I've been writing a bunch of pilots and specs and applying to all the fellowships and all that stuff. So that's what I'm currently working on right now.
Yeah, you could write an episode of my show if we ever get it up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You could write yourself a role. You could be playing David. All my friends on the show play themselves.
Except for me. I'm a reporter.
Oh, that's true. You were a reporter, but that's true. Teresa, what's your crazy dream?
Oh my God. I have so many crazy dreams. I don't even know. Honestly, I mean, I would love to actually write something and also like produce something with money and actually have it up wherever it is, a movie, a TV show, whatever. Like I would but everything involves money. So that's like my craziest dreams. But in terms of actual dreams, I've had a lot of dreams where I miss things. I know that's not what you're talking about. Where I was like, in like a Broadway show and then like somehow like I just like was late or something like that. I have a lot of dreams about being late.
Oh.
So if you're gonna,
dreams all the time.
It's frightening. It's
you, and it's
yeah. So in terms of actually dreams, but like I mean, I would love to just be able to write something and like have all the money in the world to just do it. Because I've done like web series with like no budgets. Like I have the one web series that's still in post-production because we didn't have a budget. Fun fact, Christy Carlson Romano, aka Kim Possible or whatever, she was actually interested in directing an episode, but we didn't have a budget.
Oh my God.
Like before she moved back to LA and now she's like a mom. She's got like 2 kids and stuff. But I was on the phone with her. Like I was on the phone. Like I was like at New York Comic Con and just talking to her. Like, hey, what's up? So we're discussing this. And she's like, oh, if you have a budget, let me know. And I'm like, oh. We don't have a budget. We could have had freaking Kim Possible direct an episode of my web series. So,
Christy Romano, wasn't she in Parade?
Yeah,
yes, she was. Yes, she was.
Yeah, Brooke was in Parade with her.
Oh my God, I didn't know you were in Parade.
No.
That's so cool. Yeah, but like, and then I just didn't have any money. That's ultimately what happened.
I'm Facebook friends with her. She added me, so I don't know. I guess she's a fan of mine.
You're famous.
She could be watching right now. We don't know.
Watching. Could be watching. And she is a mom, which is your demographic.
Exactly.
Maybe she is then.
This episode is great. Brooke, do you have any dreams?
Yeah.
My crazy big dream is to basically do what Sarah Bareilles did with Waitress. I just want to write a show and be able to star in it, and that's a big dream. So, yeah. I also want to like open like a rabbit farm.
Oh, so cute!
Oh,
I wanted to ask about your rabbit. You have a pet rabbit. That's so cute.
Put him like I should have done this in the room with him, but I don't want to drag him out right now. But yeah, he's free range, litter box trained, and he is the smartest bunny dog
that is adorable.
Yeah, Sherlock is a character on Smee and Friends, which is Smee's animated TV show that I did a little pitch for, but haven't got any. I don't know how to get a show that's animated up. But like actually Teresa's turtle Gigi is also a character on
I
that
didn't
show.
know.
Oh, Gigi's a character. Gigi is still alive. Gigi's like 25 years old.
Wow.
And Lindsay says you all have my dreams, so that's exciting.
Aww.
Well, I think that I've already achieved my dream. I got my show off Broadway. It would be nice to actually open it and have a party. And then I feel like I would love to get my sitcom picked up at some point. But for now, I just feel like everything is just kind of on pause.
For everybody.
Kelly, did you have a dream you wanted to say?
Yeah, I mean, my dream is kind of the same as all of yours. I mean, I want to be able to write something, and I actually want to be able to write my own cartoon and voice act in it. I'm a big cartoon geek. And like, I don't know, that would be my dream, to have my own cartoon. I'm actually working on a project with a good friend of mine, and we're trying to make one together. So if I could write my own cartoon and make all the characters and be one of the voice actors, because I love voice acting, then that would be the dream.
You have
Yeah, you could be on my. If I ever get my animated show up, you can have a voice.
Yeah,
Actually, all of you can be on it. This
Oh
is
my
what I
God.
do. All my projects have all my friends on it, like the talk show, the podcast, my sitcom. Everything I do, I invite everyone I'm friends with to be a part of because I'm a very loyal person. All right, our second question today is a lot less serious.
Yes.
If you were a Disney character, who would you be? Dun dun dun. And I forgot to think about this, so I'm going to go last. Let's go. Why don't we go in a different direction? Brooke, do you have a Disney character?
I know exactly who I would be.
Okay.
Thumper.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
That is a traumatic.
I don't even have to think about it.
You're bringing back traumatic memories of seeing Bambi.
Oh.
I know Bambi kind of gets you.
Bambi's aunt's name is Ena, E-N-A, and I know that because it's a 3-letter crossword word. When I make my crosswords, the 3-letter words are like the glue, and so I know that his aunt is named Ena, which is a very random thing to know.
That's very random.
Yes.
But useful.
David, what Disney character would you be?
Well, Disney bought Marvel a few years ago, so I'm gonna have to say I would be. Oh, this is actually kind of hard.
That's what he said.
Oh my God. I think that was the first. Seth, that was your first punny joke of the day.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's because everyone was talking so much, I didn't get to stick puns in. Lindsay would be Belle.
Oh, I love that we have people like participating today.
That's normal.
Comments.
I don't know what happened to Summer. Maybe she stopped watching.
Yeah.
She just left that one comment. Did you find one yet, David?
Storm from the X-Men.
Ooh.
All right. That's like, I don't know that we meant like the broad Disney, but okay, we'll let you know.
Anything Disney. It can even be more than one character.
Well, then I could go with the
You should know that
Muppets.
because that's the role from Aladdin. You got to be specific. Okay.
but- All right, Teresa, do you have a Disney character you'd be?
Oh God, this is so hard. Like I've been like, and I love Disney like
I
so
was
much.
on your husband's Disney podcast show.
Yes,
Did that
you
ever
were.
air?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it came out. You didn't see it? Like all it came out like last year.
Really? No, I
Yes,
never
you
listened
didn't
to
know.
it.
Oh, snap. We'll send it to you. It's
I
like
wasn't
3 parts.
tagged. Why didn't you tag me? I would have
Oh.
shared it.
I don't know. I'll tell him to tag you. But yeah, my husband wrote a 3-part musical that's like a Disney it's like a parody of like Disney meets Quentin Tarantino. It's definitely adult. It's not for children. And Seth also was one of the voices
I was
in it.
Adam.
You were Adam. Adam, aka the Beast, right? Wait, Adam? Was he
No, I
Adam?
don't think I was the Beast.
No, the Beast is Adam because the Beast is like his real like name is Adam. Anyway,
Oh, really?
so,
I thought
yeah.
that was my name.
Yeah, your name is Adam. Yeah. This is really hard. I don't even know who I want to be. I think that I would probably
I
want to
love
be.
that Brooke's father-in-law keeps walking in back of her.
Who do I want to be? I think maybe Tiana from
Ooh.
Princess and the Frog because she works so hard. And like before this quarantine, I literally was working regularly 2 part-time jobs plus other jobs. Like I've probably worked up to like 20 jobs like at a time. I have so many jobs. But she works really hard and she has big dreams and she wants to open up her restaurant. And I've been cooking a lot since this quarantine. And
We're doing
she's
an episode on cooking in a few weeks.
Ooh.
Yeah, we are actually.
Oh yeah, I've been cooking a lot. So, and Tiana's just like a hard worker, and I just feel like she's not like your typical Disney princess because like she believes in hard work, as opposed to being like, and I love Sleeping Beauty. I grew up watching Sleeping Beauty on a loop, but all she really does is like sing a couple of songs and then is like asleep for the rest of the thing. So I would go with Tiana because she achieves her dreams through hard work.
Totally, that's a great answer.
All right, Kelly, do you have an answer?
This is technically Pixar, but it's still Disney. So I would be Joy from Inside Out, hands down. She's an optimist. She is in touch with her inner child. She believes in positivity. And that's a big thing that I talk about on my YouTube channel. And I'm really into like positive motivation. And I'm very much still like a 5-year-old at heart. So I would say Joy from Inside Out. And Inside Out is like one of my favorite movies of all time. What about you?
So I finally figured it out because it's like not who would I want to be, but who I really am. And I think it's Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of like a know-it-all and he likes to be in control.
And he's OCD.
That's what I'm saying. He's the Larry David of the Pooh world. And I think that's who I would be.
That's so, oh my God. I could see it, Seth. I could see it.
Yeah, I know.
See that.
Funny ears. All right, final question, Kelly.
All right, our final question is, if you could be stuck in quarantine with any celebrity, who would you pick? I feel like these questions are like, are they too complicated? Did I come up with two? I mean,
I like them. I
think
picked
there are
these.
too many answers. That's the problem because I have
Your mother agrees I would be Rabbit. So true, Seth. LOL! Exclamation points.
I'm gonna choose two celebrities because I'm choosing to choose two. I would say, and because Teresa made me think of her, I'm such a huge fan of Kristen Chenoweth. Like I idolize her so much. She's so cute, and she's honestly been making such hilarious videos on TikTok during quarantine, just like singing around her apartment. And I idolize her, so I think it'd be really cool to actually spend time with her. And also one of my biggest idols ever, Rebecca Sugar. She wrote my favorite cartoon, Steven Universe. If I could be quarantined with her, I would just be in awe and I'd be picking her brain. So,
That's Brooke's mother-in-law now.
hi. Well, you have a friend on the show. Thanks for saying hi.
All right, Teresa.
What would you say?
Oh man, this is really tough. I don't even know. I would pick maybe because I would need two people too because I just feel like I can't have like just one person. I would like to pick Paul Rudd and David Wayne. Because David Wayne, he's the director, and I just feel like he's so funny, like that I just like want to laugh. I feel like the only way to get through something like this is to laugh. And I watched a lot of David Wayne movies, and all of them star Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd's is in all of them, and I just feel like they would just be like, guys who would just be up for anything, and they'll be like, oh, want to go cook, and they would just like probably make a joke or something, and I would just, I don't know, I just like laughing because I just feel like otherwise I'll be crying, so I just feel like I don't want to hang out with those guys. They seem like cool dudes.
All right, David.
Well, definitely Troye Sivan. It would have to be Troye Sivan.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you wouldn't either, Seth.
Should I know who that is?
Everyone knows who it is, but not Seth.
Really? Does everyone else know who this is?
I don't know who that is. Who's that?
He's a pop star, okay? Anyway, he would be an actor, too. But anyway, I think it would be Troye Sivan. Love to music with him in more ways than one.
All I'll have to look him up later.
Yeah. What about you, Brooke?
I have 3. One of them is you have more?
No, I was just going to say that Seth and I, when we met, we were singing in a choir with Seth, who is Kristen Chenoweth's assistant, and you guys totally get her on the show.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, my God.
That was it. Sorry.
That's so crazy.
Need to cut off. I thought Seth signaled to me. I was like,
All right, Brooke has 3.
Am I allowed to have 3?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Well, Linda Ronstadt, because I just want to be her. In the Troy Sivan neighborhood, if I just want to make music in every way, is Eddie Vedder, lead singer of Pearl Jam. I got to meet him once, and we got into a whole conversation about the meaning of the song Yellow Ledbetter, and I do a cover of it with my band sometimes. So it was just, I just want to talk about that stuff with him for like ever. And then my third one is Benny the Bunny. I don't know if you guys know about Benny the Bunny, but if you follow him on Instagram, his owner has like this whole thing, and Sherlock would be mad, but I would like to spend some time with Benny. He's an awesome rabbit. The rabbit plays basketball. He's amazing.
For a second, I thought you said Dad Bunny, and I was like, oh, that should have been my answer, Dad Bunny.
All right, Lindsay Green says Laura Benanti. She would like to be with. Laura's very nice. The times I've met her, she's been very nice. I guess I'm just going to be old because the people I thought of were Bernadette Peters and Julie Andrews.
Oh.
And I think that would be way nicer to have somebody who's like could cook for you and whatever. But I feel like Julie Andrews would be so. I think she curses a lot, from what I hear. I think she would just be so fun to have around, and you could sing like Spoonful of Sugar, and you could clean together. And then I think that Bernadette would just be. Bernadette and I share a birthday, and so I feel like going back. Bringing it full circle to that discussion, I think we would have a lot in common. We would get along really well.
I'm surprised you didn't say Stephen Sondheim.
Oh, I didn't think of it. I guess I could live with Stephen Sondheim. We can make him third.
He would be difficult to live with.
I agree. Like, and he likes to tie people up and put them in his basement and stuff. Like,
maybe that's why he loves escape rooms so much.
That's
because
true.
I took a picture with him when he came to play at Escape the Room because that's one of my jobs, and he loves Escape the Room. He apparently would like bounce puzzle ideas with the guy who owns Escape the Room, and he bought a T-shirt, so he's like possibly quarantining with like an Escape the Room NYC T-shirt.
That's amazing. Kelly's mom also loves Julie Andrews.
He doesn't love Dame Julie.
And Lindsay says best quarantine buddy, so I think that was for Sondheim. All right. Well, we have gone over as usual. One of these. If we were on the actual network, I would have had to cut people off, but we're not, so I don't. But thank you guys. This has been our best episode yet.
Yeah, it really has been.
You guys were so great, and hopefully we can hang out again soon.
Yeah,
I'm going to
absolutely.
take everyone out except for me and Kelly. So thanks for watching, everyone who's still here.
Thanks for watching. I feel like we learned a lot. We had a lot of great conversations, and the energy was real today.
I know. Brooke's mom said it was great.
Aww.
And your mom says it was a great episode.
Thank you for everyone who tuned in.
And your grandmother said it was a great show.
I can't believe my grandma tuned in. She doesn't usually.
And Lindsay gave us 4 applause emojis. So it was a hit. Today was a hit.
Yeah.
I feel good about this show.
High five, Seth. Virtual.
Woo, good job. High five.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was not at the same time.
That's really awkward. I don't know how to pull that off.
That's very awkward.
All right. So what's our show next week? Next week is Race Disgrace, about racism. That's going to be our serious episode.
That is going to be a serious episode for obvious reasons, but it's an important topic to talk about right now with everything going on. So, I think we try to. I feel like our show. I feel like we're trying to do good with this show. Seth.
Well, we certainly try.
Yeah, we certainly try.
It's certainly trying our patience sometimes.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
I had to get in another pun. I didn't realize I hadn't been punishing.
I know you were a little behind on the puns today, Seth.
I hadn't been punishing people with my puns enough.
Well, it's because we had so many lovely people that just has so many lovely things to say.
I know, they're also talkative, just like us.
Talkative like us.
But it's a talk show. That's what you want. You don't want guests who are. Oh, I did want to give a shout out. I don't know if she's watching, but our guest Danny Granati from a few weeks ago had her baby a few days ago. So I just wanted to. Yeah, it's a boy. So I just wanted to shout that out. Since she probably is not watching. She's probably too busy having a kid right now. But I just wanted to bring that up. And your mom says I'm so punny. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. Sorry we went like 9 minutes over today, but hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And we'll be back right here Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Yep.
And I'll play the theme song one more time. What day is it with Seth and Kelly? All right, see you guys next week.
Bye. See you next time.